The flow of air traffic today is increasingly heavy. With cruising speeds that vary from the hovering helicopter to the fastest jet, the problem of maintaining lateral, longitudinal, and vertical separation is complex. Regulations governing air traffic are promulgated by the Civil Aeronautics Board and are known as Civil Air Regulations, CAR. Administration and enforcement of these regulations is the function of the Civil Aeronautics Administration, the CAA. The Air Route Traffic Control Center, ATC we call it, which is part of the Airways Operations Division of CAA, is especially charged with controlling the flow of air traffic. There are 26 ATC centers located throughout the United States. 5 more are located outside continental limits. Each center is responsible for control of instrument air traffic within a specified control area. But for minor exceptions, this means all instrument air traffic moving over the nation's civil airways is subject to control of these centers. Control is passed from one such center to an adjoining center as an aircraft moves across the country over airways. It is obvious that without additional aid, 26 centers could not provide for all control required to handle the instrument traffic load. Where density of traffic is heaviest, in control zones where the airways intersect and big air terminals are located, as well as at other designated places, supplementary control activities called approach control are established. Approach control is located in the master tower in a control zone where one or more airport towers are located. It is responsible for the control of all instrument air traffic released to it by the ATC center of that area in which it is located. Through the use of electronic aids and direct communication with approaching and departing air traffic, it affects separation of aircraft under its direct control. Working in the closest cooperation with approach control, the ATC center is responsible for maintaining the en route separation of instrument air traffic moving over the airways. As an aircraft nears its destination, ATC directs it to fly at appropriate altitude in sequence before releasing it to approach control. When an instrument flight plan comes into ATC, a controller prepares flight progress strips, entering in appropriate places the flight identification, type of aircraft, altitude, route of flight, point of first intended landing, proposed true airspeed, and proposed time of departure. Such a flight progress strip is prepared in advance for each compulsory reporting position. After the flight plan has been approved and the aircraft has departed, estimated times over compulsory reporting points are entered on the strips, and the strips then passed to other sectors according to the route of flight. Actual time over each reporting point and pilot's estimates are noted as reported. Through these reports, the center is kept informed on the position of all aircraft with which it is concerned. The problem is one of routing air traffic to maintain lateral, vertical, or longitudinal separation. This would be impossible if regulations did not require all pilots flying under instrument flight plans to be governed by CAR 60 and ATC instructions while in control areas and control zones. To see how it works, let's follow through on a typical on-airways instrument flight. Lieutenant Allen as pilot and Lieutenant Barnum as co-pilot, are scheduled for a navigation training flight the following day. They are assigned R4D Bureau number 50769, a navigation trainer with a 1,000-gallon gas capacity. Taking off from Naval Air Station Corpus Christi, they will proceed via airways to Los Angeles International Airport, a distance of some 1,259 nautical miles. At operations, they draw a navigation briefcase for the assigned route, checking contents to make certain they have all publications, sectional charts, and cross-country packet, which they will need in preparing a pre-flight plan, a DD-175 aircraft clearance form, Form F for weight and balance, and other equipment required for their scheduled cross-country flight. In the flight planning room, they make certain they have current issues of the radio facility charts. Then consult the section on directory of aerodromes available to military aircraft. This section denotes Los Angeles International Airport as a civil airport for which permit covers use by transient military aircraft and shows that Air Force contract fuel is available. From the flight planning chart, they note mileages. And then consult other pages for minimum en route altitudes. They check the record of revisions page in the Naval Airways Pilot HO510, making certain that all revisions have been inserted to date. Carefully, they collect pertinent, accurate information on their intended flight and enter it on their pre-flight plan. In aerology, they familiarize themselves with the weather conditions they are likely to encounter the following day. They obtain forecast winds aloft along their route to enable them to work out predicted headings, airspeeds, and favorable altitudes on their pre-flight plan. As is required for every flight over 800 miles, they request that a cross-section be prepared for their route to be available prior to 0900 the following day. The next morning, an hour and a half before their scheduled takeoff time, Allen and Barnum arrive at operations. They go to aerology for the weather cross-section they had requested, and to get the present and forecast weather along the route and at terminal areas. Weather in the local area and to the north for about 100 miles is overcast 700 feet, visibility 2 miles, with pilot report of tops at 6,000 feet. A weak cold front between Big Springs and Salt Flat is causing mild turbulence and thunder showers east of the mountains. Dust storms are reported restricting visibility to 1 mile in the Rio Grande Valley near El Paso. Los Angeles is reporting overcast 2,000 feet, visibility 3 miles with some tops at 15,000. Forecast improvement in visibility with ceiling holding. Palmdale, selected as an alternate, is clear, unlimited. Freezing level varies from 14,000 feet at Corpus Christi to 11,000 feet at Los Angeles. The aerologist fills in the forecast and signs the weather section. Allen and Barnum both check the NOTAM file. Allen completes the pre-flight plan, obtaining an estimated time en route of 8 hours, 47 minutes. He computes he has enough fuel aboard to take him to destination plus alternate, plus 45 minutes reserve, as required by OPNAV instructions. The pre-flight plan and the details on the DD-175, the aircraft clearance form, are checked over by the operations duty officer. He asks for and inspects Allen's instrument card to make certain it is not expired. Allen signs a receipt form that he has read the NOTAMs and has with him all required publications, charts, and cross-country supplies. The operations duty officer signs the DD-175, and the pilots proceed to their plane. Operations must now file the flight plan with San Antonio ATC. Operations calls flight plan is entered on flight progress strips and worked in with other traffic flying on airways under instrument flight rules. With engine started, Allen requests taxi clearance. The tower operator clears him to the warm-up area, then calls San Antonio ATC.
This is Navy Corpus Tower. Request clearance for Navy 50769.
The co-pilot will copy the voice transmission of the clearance when given in the speed writing symbols recommended in the CAA Flight Information Manual. Meanwhile, the pilot and co-pilot go over the check-off list using challenge and answer method. When ATC clearance arrives, the tower calls Navy 0769.
ATC clears Navy 0769 to the Los Angeles International Airport via direct to Gregory, green 6 to Corpus Christi, blue 30 and red 38 to San Angelo, Victor 68 to Midland, Victor 66 to El Paso, green 5 to Los Angeles. Maintain 8,000 while in control areas. Request further altitude change en route. Climb out on heading of 095 degrees to 6,000. Reverse course. Report over Navy Corpus Christi at 8,000. Report Gregory to Corpus Christi Radio.
The pilot notes that ATC clearance, including use of Omni from San Angelo to El Paso, has been given as requested. As the co-pilot reads back the ATC clearance as received and copied, the pilot moves towards takeoff position, awaiting tower clearance before taking the runway. When Navy 0769 is airborne, the tower calls San Antonio ATC.
Navy 0769 departed at 10.
San Antonio ATC enters takeoff time. Navy 0769 climbs out on a heading of 095 degrees as instructed. He intersects the east leg of the Navy Corpus Range and continues outbound until reaching 6,000 feet. He reverses his course and continues his climb inbound, passing over the range station at 8,000 feet. Allen transmits.
Navy Corpus approach control, Navy 0769, Navy Corpus at 8,000. Estimate Gregory at 34.
Barnum checks the radio facility chart for the Corpus Christi voice frequency, and when over the Gregory intersection, he establishes communications and then reports.
Corpus Christi Radio, this is Navy 0769, Gregory at 34, 8,000. Estimate flight plan to Los Angeles. Estimate Corpus at 39, over.
Referring to his pre-flight log, the pilot takes up a heading as indicated to follow inbound the northeast leg of the Corpus Christi range. Over the station, the co-pilot reports.
Corpus Christi Radio, this is Navy 0769, Corpus Christi 39, 8,000. Estimate La Jolla, 18, over.
Corpus Christi Radio repeats back the position report. After passing the station, the pilot executes a turn to go outbound on the northwest leg of Corpus Christi range, taking up a heading of 319 degrees that puts him on blue 30. Meanwhile, Corpus Christi Radio has interphoned the position report to San Antonio ATC. San Antonio has acknowledged. In San Antonio ATC, the flight progress pips made up for this flight have been turned over to the controller who will follow the progress of the flight. A strip has been made for each compulsory reporting point. Gregory, Corpus Christi, La Jolla, Kelly, Medina. At this time, the Corpus Christi actual time over is noted, and the estimate at La Jolla is checked. Navy 0769 continues its flight, reporting over La Jolla, Kelly, and Medina. In San Antonio ATC, the strips are marked. La Jolla, estimated 1018, actual 1019. Kelly, estimated 1024, actual 1026. Medina, estimated 1032, actual 1033. "30 minutes before Navy 0769 will enter the next, or El Paso control area, the San Antonio controller calls El Paso ATC.
This is San Antonio Control. I have an estimate at junction.
Go ahead.
Navy 0769 R4D, estimated over junction 1109 Central, 8,000, estimated ground speed 169 miles per hour. Departed Navy Corpus, blue 30, red 38 to San Angelo, Victor 68 to Midland, Victor 66 to El Paso, green 5 Los Angeles, FS.
In El Paso ATC, flight progress strips are made out for the compulsory checkpoints in El Paso's control area. Navy 0769 continues its flight into this area. Before Allen and Barnum have arrived over San Angelo radio calls to relay ATC clearance. As is required, Barnum copies the ATC clearance as it comes in.
ATC clears Navy 0769. Climb to and maintain 10,000 immediately after passing San Angelo.
San Angelo radio, this is Navy 0769. ATC clears Navy 0769.
CAA recommends that pilots repeat back all ATC clearances. Good practice requires it. The instruction to go to 10,000 is included in the clearance because of other traffic on Victor 66 beyond Midland, coupled with minimum en route altitude westbound Midland to El Paso. Over San Angelo, Navy 0769 makes a compulsory position report.
Navy 0769, San Angelo at 8,000. Instrument flight plan to Los Angeles. Estimate Midland 27, leaving 8,000 immediately. Over.
San Angelo radio repeats back the transmission. CAA air-ground facilities repeat back to the pilot all position reports and messages. San Angelo radio relays the position report to El Paso ATC, where the Midland estimate is checked on the flight progress strip. As they approach the 10,000-foot level, Allen and Barnum put on their oxygen masks. They check the radio facility chart for the Midland omni-frequency and en route track. They tune in Midland, check identification, and take up a heading that will put them on course as they climb. They turn down the volume on the low-frequency receiver. The course selector indicator is set on the desired track, and the deviation indicator is centered to remain on course. Barnum computes gas consumption and flight progress and keeps the flight and radio log. He notes an increase in right drift and a lower ground speed, indicating winds aloft of greater than predicted intensity. Navy 0769 continues. Position over Midland is reported to Midland radio, which relays it to El Paso ATC. The flight continues. By reference to the radio facility charts, Allen notes that Culberson has no voice facilities. So he reports his position over Culberson to Salt Flat radio, which relays it to El Paso ATC. Hudspeth has no voice facilities. So this position is also reported to Salt Flat radio and relayed to El Paso. In El Paso ATC, the actual times for the reporting points are marked. Midland VOR 1229, Culberson 1327, Hudspeth 1351 Central Standard Time, El Paso estimate 1316 Mountain Standard Time. Over El Paso, Allen calls.
El Paso radio, this is Navy 0769, El Paso 17, 10,000. Instrument flight plan to Los Angeles. Estimate Harrington 26, over.
El Paso reads back position report, then transmits ATC clearance.
ATC clears Navy 0769 to climb to 16,000 immediately. Maintain 16,000. Report reaching.
Barnum acknowledges and advises Allen, who calls El Paso radio to question the change of altitude to 16,000, where the last winds aloft report gave strong westerly winds. El Paso radio answers.
ATC advises Navy 0769 that the altitudes 12,000 through 15,000 will be occupied by 24 B-29s departing Davis-Monthan, Tucson at 1330 Mountain.
Allen revises his estimate because of the climb. He reports to El Paso radio on reaching 16,000. The flight continues past Harrington, Columbus, and Rodeo. Then, because of eastbound traffic scheduled to enter Green 5 at Casa Grande, Tucson radio advises.
ATC clears Navy 0769 to descend to and maintain 8,000 immediately after passing Tucson. Cross Casa Grande intersection at 12,000 or below.
Allen acknowledges and requests latest Los Angeles weather. On checking fuel consumption, they find that the climb to 16,000 and increased headwinds at that altitude have decreased their ground speed. Allen concludes that they cannot proceed to destination with adequate fuel reserve to meet requirements of safe flight. Los Angeles weather, as received from Tucson, shows a definite trend to instrument conditions prior to their estimated time of arrival. Phoenix is reporting clear. Allen decides to land and refuel. Reference to the radio facility charts has indicated Naval Air Facility, Litchfield Park, available for servicing military aircraft. Barnum writes down the details required for filing a change in flight plan.
Tucson Radio, this is Navy 0769, Tucson 28-16000. Instrument flight plan, Los Angeles. Estimate Casa Grande intersection 58, leaving 16,000. Request change of flight plan, departed Navy Corpus Christi. Request destination change to Naval Air Facility, Litchfield Park. Request 8,000. Estimated time en route 0 plus 46. Fuel 2 plus 00. Rating special. Expiration date 6/13/54. Over.
Tucson Radio acknowledges position report and change of flight plan request and advises them to stand by for further clearance. Tucson then communicates with El Paso ATC for the clearance. When it comes, Tucson Radio transmits.
ATC clears. Navy 0769 to the Phoenix Range Station via Green 5. Maintain 8,000. No delay expected.
Barnum repeats back his ATC clearance. Over Casa Grande intersection, he reports to Phoenix Radio at 1558 Mountain. Over Phoenix, he transmits.
Phoenix Radio, this is Navy 0769. Phoenix 13-8000. Instrument flight plan, Navy Litchfield Park. Cancel my instrument flight plan, over.
Phoenix Radio answers.
Navy 0769, this is Phoenix Radio. Roger, cancel instrument flight plan at 14.
ATC cannot approve or disapprove cancellation of an instrument flight plan. Such action is the sole prerogative of the pilot. But once such action has been taken, the pilot must proceed under visual flight rules. He cannot revert to instrument flight without refiling and obtaining a new ATC clearance. Once canceled, the flight is removed from the board at El Paso ATC. With clear weather, Navy 0769 lands at Litchfield Park. Allen goes to operations to make certain that his flight plan is closed out. Insofar as this flight is concerned, he performs the final act of cooperation and coordinated action between the pilot and ATC. ATC exists to provide service that will ensure safety to the thousands of pilots and millions of passengers who each year fly the nation's civil air routes under instrument flight rules. No amount of planning or effort can accomplish this end unless the pilot understands the small tolerance for error or negligence which is allowed him. It is required that the pilot carefully execute necessary pre-flight action, that he have a valid instrument rating and operate an aircraft properly certified for the type of flight he is to perform, that he not only file for ATC clearance for his instrument flight, but when received that he comply with all valid instructions given him, executing his flight in conformity only with all regulations and directives, but in accordance with the dictates of reason, judgment, and good operating procedure. Only by so doing can the pilot ensure his own safety, the safety of those aboard his aircraft, and the proximity.